All right, this is Saddleborn Podcast. You're here with Sadie Schick and Michelle Filippini, and today we are interviewing Aitor Narvaiza and Val Steinfeld with the Mounted Police. All right, well, thank you guys for being here today. We really appreciate you giving us your time.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So to kind of get us kicked off, I want to start kind of at the beginning. So could you just explain to us a little bit of what you guys do? What is the Mounted Police?
Our mounted patrol just functions everywhere in Elko County, or we go outside other agencies and we do search and rescue. We work the county fair, we work the Stampede, we work the Memorial Fair. We work horses every day. We break up fights with them. We get right in the crowds. If a fight breaks out, you got a 1,200-pound animal. They're very, they're awesome to work with, and so we do a lot with the horses. What's nice is the public, the kids. Kids just love them.
They make you the good guys on the horses.
Yeah.
That's what's cool is every kid likes a horse. So you do a lot of publicity stuff, and so it's really neat. It's a good time.
So do you just do Elko County, or do they kind of loan you out throughout the state?
No, we go wherever we're called. Last year we went to Lovelock. We had to go do a search and rescue out there, so we take the horses to Lovelock. We take them to Reno, Carson,
Yerington.
Work the rodeos outside, and that one year they had us on standby when they had the riots in Reno. So we go wherever we're asked.
Okay.
There's probably Val, 50, 60 horses in class that we go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all the agencies in Nevada.
Oh, okay.
The northern part of the state.
Yeah, so everybody goes into Carson City and trains for a week, and if they have something going on, like, hey, they call you, and we just go.
Okay.
So not every person that rides the horse is the owner of the horse?
No.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. And so are you all, active duty, I guess, police officers, or is it some, retirees?
No, we have, Val just retired, so...
Yeah.
How does it feel?
That's awesome.
We're still active.
Aitor probably misses her.
Adrian and I and Scott Sattersway and Prescott in the jail, we're still all active. We have a couple of people for search and rescue to ride. We have another individual that rides with us for search and rescue and patrol. So, we have 8 or 9 on the mounted patrol.
It's grown a lot.
Oh, okay. And so how do you become a member of the Mounted Patrol? Do you need to be in law enforcement? Is it volunteer based?
Well, for us, obviously it's law enforcement based, but if you want to be involved in the Mounted Patrol, you just come down there, you put your application, and then we send you to the class. We pay for the class, and what you do, you go to Carson City, and we spend a week there, and the horse gets certified.
Okay.
The horses get certified, and then if you're a volunteer, and then if we need you, we just call and you say, hey, we got this going on, can you make it? And usually it's
So you don't have to go through a whole academy to become mounted?
No.
Not if you're search and rescue.
Oh, okay.
So we have the law enforcement side, and then we have the non-sworn, which is your search and rescue.
So Sadie and I can put in our application next week?
Yeah.
It's awesome. You love it. It's a good time.
So
it's
this
really
fair,
good
we won't be roping, we'll be...
It's really good, and it's good for the horses, the training we do, so all the sensory work and everything, and they get just so much in 1 week that most horses don't get to see, so within that week they get a ton of stuff by the end of the week they're all pretty calm and ready to go through and their test at the end of the week.
I would love to do that. It just sounds fun to take your horse.
It is.
It is fun.
Yeah. And so do you have to get recertified every year then?
Yeah.
So the horse passes for the year?
The horse has to be certified. The rider would be up to the sheriff or the law enforcement chief or the police chief or the sheriff in this case who put the individual on that horse, but the horse will be certified.
Oh, okay.
If you don't feel the horse is up to the standards for working the street, then you just put the person on a different horse that's made it through the class and work with that horse longer or send it through next year or whatever.
Oh, okay. So can it be any horse? Can it be a grade horse?
Yep.
Or does it have to be?
Yep. No pedigree
Yeah.
requirements whatsoever.
It just
Could
has
be
to
a
be able
Mustang.
to, yeah, we have a lot of Mustangs
Oh,
that
you
go
do?
through. Yeah,
I
there's a
love
lot.
'em.
Yeah, the prison there in Carson City, they have that program. They sell them out every year.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
inmates break horses,
The Mustangs.
the Mustangs.
Where do
and
all
then
the profits go to?
it goes back to the land, the Bureau of Land Management to,
Oh.
and they sell the horses, and the horses of the prison goes back to the training, and it goes back to the state. So they can take an old Mustang, and by the time they get done, those inmates have so much time on their hands that they ride them like 180 days or 200 days. So when you get a horse out of there, you got a horse that's got 180 to 200 days to ride.
Wow.
One of the horses that we saw, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We saw him come in when we first started going to training years ago, and his name was Johnny Cash. He's a little Mustang, little gray Mustang. So he sticks out in my mind because we've seen him come up through the whole program, and he's just one of those solid little guys, and
Yeah.
he just goes out and keeps doing it.
Where does he live now?
He still lives with Heather, who is an officer, and I can't remember which agency she's with over there. I always screw that up because there's so many different ones. And
So it's up to the person who houses the horse to feed them, or does the county have a budget to feed the horses?
We've been working on a budget. So right now, it's these guys feed it, and basically when we go to training, we buy all the fuels and whatever needs to motel
okay.
rooms and everything. And we're actually been brought up in the budget this year. We've actually requested some money for for the farrier, the feed, and whatever else, right?
They're expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
You know it, right? Hay's expensive, so we can give these guys $1,500, $2,000 each in the budget for the farrier horses and all their upkeep and everything with there. But when we go to training, the sheriff's department pays for the fuel, the rooms, the meals, everything.
Oh, very good.
so when we started this program 15 years ago, everything's been out of pocket. Like, it's just been on us and everything. The department's been very, very good at, like you said, they've always paid for our fuel, they paid for our food, but everything, all the other costs, like as far as anything for the horse, that was all on us and everything. So we're moving forward, the program's growing and it's getting better. And our sheriff's been great. All of the sheriffs since it started have been very supportive of the program, so.
Okay, so who started the program? Was it
So,
all of you?
Originally, it was Adrian Perry, who's a lieutenant in the jail, and myself.
Oh, okay.
So we started, and it worked out years ago when we used to have the motorcycle jamboree in town.
Yeah.
Las Vegas had a mounted unit, and they came up, and we were like, oh man, that's awesome. But watching those horses work, like you were on the street, and pretty soon you just had all this space to work, and you look up, and there's just horses around you, and you had tons of space to
You
work.
could see everything.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
So we were like, this is cool. So Adrian actually, and I don't know how she figured it out, but she found someone had posted it somewhere or whatever, and we went to Winnemucca the first year for the training, and then from there it just kicked off we just kept growing, and now we've got all our members, and
That's awesome.
I think, and I can't remember which sheriff we were under. I think we were under Pitts when we started
believe
it.
so,
And he was very supportive of it, getting us going and stuff, so.
Okay. Wow, that's really cool. So when did you join the program?
I didn't join it until I got elected sheriff.
Oh, yeah, because he had to be out there on Mr. Jimmy, the big black Jimmy horse out there.
I've seen him out there before.
Right, and Jimmy loves parading around
Yeah.
with the sheriff on him because he doesn't have to work because they're campaigning, and I have to go up there. I like to give him crap when we're in Carson at the parades because he's over there like kissing babies and stuff, and I'm like,
Horse.
I go, they can't vote for you, right?
Jimmy's like, I was made for this.
Exactly.
Jimmy and Aitor have the same personality. He's like, we don't care.
I got involved after these guys invited me to go to class. And, I haven't looked back. It's probably one of my favorite classes. And I've been in a lot of classes in my career. And this one is just to go down to Carson and ride horses for a week. It's hard to believe people get paid to do that.
Not many people get paid to ride a horse.
You sit there and for a week, you got the county, you got work in the jail, you got patrol, you got all the stuff going in the city, right, in the county. And for me, when I get to Carson, it just, all the pressure just kind of just goes away for a week, right?
You could be in the moment.
Right, and I get to
Sounds
hang
like
out with
therapy.
Val and Perry and all those Sheriff Furlong, and he's a great guy. Hang out with all the sheriffs in Washoe, Sheriff Balaam and Jeff and all those guys.
Yeah.
And we don't talk politics. It's probably the only time you can go to a class and just be yourself. And, after the training, you got to go feed, water, clean up, and you sit outside, have a little toddy, have a drink, and it's nice just sit around the fire and
Have fun.
talk.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Great
good
people
time.
down there. Great
Yeah.
people.
So Val, I've seen you at the Horse Palace. Are the horses you take to the Horse Palace, they're your certified horses also?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you can ride them anywhere all the time.
Yes.
The more the better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So the horse that I ran in Winnemucca this weekend,
Yeah.
he went through the class as a coming 3-year-old. His first time he went through the Mounted Patrol School, and he has a really good mind.
Oh, nice. Even a can chaser?
Yeah, he's a can chaser and a mounted police.
I love that.
Resume.
What's the saying they call him? The rocket donkey?
He's that on the weekends.
That's so cool.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's a new one to me.
Yeah.
It's funny. So yes, he runs barrels, and he's a police horse.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So during your trainings that you go to, what kind of things can a person expect to kind of be putting their horses through?
Probably what you shouldn't expect is, that you do baton work. You do
okay.
horse work. You do sensory training. Get them used to all the noises. Tear gas. SWAT team comes in there and they throw tear gas and smoke, and they have the dogs running underneath the horses making arrests.
You're
And,
holding like the bad guy in the suit while the dog's biting on him, and your
So you
horse
have
is
like a
standing there.
person hanging off?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they put a guy in a bite suit, he takes off, and so the dog makes his apprehension, and then with the mounted patrol, as the team's moving in, this is just all training, right? So
Yeah.
as the team's moving in, you like circle the wagon, like one set of group is going right, and the other horse is going left. So what it does, it keeps the people from coming in into where the arrest is being affected, right?
Oh, okay.
So when you got horses going this way in opposite directions, you can't get in there. So it's only law enforcement in this group.
Oh, okay.
So then when we make the arrest, we build a little wedge and we just escort them out, We do, a Raven comes in, Raven's Washoe's helicopter.
That's the best. When they come over us, they like come down and buzz us, and then hover over the arena, and then all the horses walk underneath, and then they land, and we just walk around them. And
Really?
I
That's
feel like
really
you guys
fun.
need to get together after you retire and start a horse
Desensitizing class
for
for
everybody,
everybody.
for kids. It sounds like you're making bomb-proof
last
horses
year
for the
at,
training.
we shoot off of them.
Yeah.
So
Last year at training, we were at the fairgrounds in Carson City, and Raven was supposed to come in and make 2-3 passes, and then they hover. Well, in this case, they were like, "Hey, Raven's coming in hot." Well, what they did,
not
they
good.
had a engine oil light come on.
Oh.
So they were having mechanical issues, right?
Oh,
That's
So-
scary.
really hot.
Here
Really
we
bad.
are in the arena, and here comes this helicopter. It's just cruising. It just has to make an emergency landing right in the.
So scary.
Yeah, so he lands and they get out, and then we just keep training, just like nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
it was scary for them. We're all excited. We're all recording as they go over. We're like, "This is awesome," and they're like, "Oh, we're landing.
They might
great for
die.
our horses. Yeah.
We're gonna die." We're like, "Oh, this is beautiful." We do a lot of stuff. Like it's just so much fun. Like with the dogs coming in, because when they're holding the guy on the suit, those dogs are being sent. So
Yeah.
they're on full attack mode. So they're like running in and hitting that guy. So you're holding the guy, and they're running towards your horse from the front. So your horse sees this little fur missile coming at him.
Yeah.
And then they hit him and stuff, and then they're fighting and stuff. So your horse has to be really good and stuff.
Yeah.
But we build up to that. That like the first day we start out on the ground with some like lunging and teaching our horses how to move their hips and their shoulders and back up off the lead. So we work on that for the first half of the day, and then as the day progresses, we get on, and then the instructors will sit there and start throwing like firecrackers into the fire pit and stuff to get the gunshot sound and everything. So it starts building that pressure. And then day 2, they have. It looks like a little junkyard out there with the shower curtains and like pool noodles everywhere and tires and like little hula hoops that flip up on your legs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff. So then you start working into that and you just circle and circle and circle, and then pretty soon you get a strong horse in the front, And then all your other horses, your weaker horses, will follow them through and be more
Confident
to get in there.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm okay to do it now.
Yeah, he did it.
The first
He's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, the first one. And then they keep adding the pressure with, the dogs, the helicopter, the guns, and everything else, so.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a lot of pressure.
That is.
Yeah, it is. You get
Yeah.
those little wavy arms, and so the horses come right up
Yeah.
to it, and they freak out.
And you're just praying you're not the one to be bucked off probably first in class.
Because if you get bucked off, Joe, who is our instructor, he's awesome. Joe Bruno is amazing. He's been doing it for years. If you get an involuntary dismount is what it's called.
Okay, thank you.
You owe him
Dr. Pepper.
a root beer.
Root beer.
You have to buy him a case or a 6-pack of root
He
beer.
probably has a stock of
And
them.
then the rest of the he does. And the rest of the instructors, you have to buy them beer. So it's an expensive experience if you fall off.
Yeah.
And it don't matter. It don't matter if you're playing the games. And like one year, I thought I was getting off on the stupid little mounting block, and I missed it, and I flipped out, and I'm laying under my horse.
Oh, that would be me.
Okay, well, I didn't fall off my horse, but I didn't mean to fall on the ground, so I had to pay up.
So you had to buy soda and beer.
And to even add insult to injury, you have to sign the backboard, the famous backboard.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of signatures.
Dang
and-
Yeah.
that one year we were there, we were on that lake. We were out riding the lake. On the last day to get certified, you have like 10 different stages you have to complete. And one of them is come off this big sand pile, and then you got to get out in the lake like waist deep. And Val, she was just down there, and she got involuntary, and her horses dumped her. And right
I did not fall off my horse. She freaking fell down in the lake and went rolling on me. She tried to kill me.
That lake's got all that.
Yeah, you need to get cooled off.
That lake's got all that gold. What do you call it?
Fool's gold stuff.
Yeah, fool's
Pyrite or
gold.
whatever it's called.
Very
Come out
sparkly.
there, she come out and she had all this
glittering.
sparkly. Her horse was covered in all this sparkly stuff, and we were like, and Amy and I were laughing. Everybody else was like, they were worried because she literally got submerged in the water. And we're like, come on, Val, pop up any minute.
Shake it off. We're all laughing, and our friend, it was her first year with us,
That's
she's like,
hard love.
what is wrong with you people? She's dying. Why are you laughing? And you're just sitting on your horses watching her die, and you're laughing. And we're like, that's the best thing ever. But I come out looking like a stripper from the club, I'm like all glittery. And I'm like, I worked hard, okay? I didn't earn any tips that day.
Yeah, $2 thrown at me for this.
There was nothing.
No, she didn't make $10.
You should have gave her $20 at least, right? Especially after come on up.
Yeah.
You coming up?
Pop up.
Oh my goodness.
But he was good one year, my horse. So like vet bills and all that kind of stuff, getting back to like the department helping us out. It's always been, like I said with the horses, has been pretty much out of pocket.
Yeah.
A couple of years, I think it was like a couple of years before he started coming with us, or maybe a year before. Anyway, my horse, I put her in a bad spot in the arena, and she ended up getting kicked in the mouth, and it cut her tongue really bad, like almost cut it in half. And I was like, oh my gosh, I killed my horse. So we got a vet to come up. And I can't remember, but they were really awesome. They came up and she put like 80 stitches in my horse's tongue and stuff. And Aitor here, he was very gracious, and they sent the bill to the department. And he took care of that. So
Yeah, it's just the right thing to do. We use them all the time, and it might cost us some money, but we get the benefit out of it. So
Yeah.
it goes to good.
it was
cause.
very much appreciated.
Yeah.
So
And that horse he'll define it can still take a bit.
yep,
and-
she's back
Wow.
to riding. Matter of
That's
fact,
amazing.
Lieutenant Perry has her, and hopefully I'll get her back into class this year, and because she needed a horse for patrol. Hers is old and needs to be retired, and her other one is a baby right now. So I was like, well, I've got my mare that I'm not using. I have my barrel horse that I'm using for both, so she can use my mare, and I'll have my
That's
other
so
one.
nice of you.
Yeah.
So that's your mare, Ginger, right? And that's the
Yes.
one who doesn't like to be touched, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Ginger's kind of like me. Just let us go do our job and leave us alone. And we don't, no hugs, no snuggles. She's like, don't touch me. So people think I'm not nice because they'll come up, and for some reason we always end up at the end of the line, and people come up, can we pet your horse? And I tell them no, because she might bite you. And they look at me like and I'm like, yeah, they're like, well, she's not a dog. And I'm like, but she will bite you. Like, we were at the National Law Enforcement Memorial back in 2021. The department paid for us to drive back to Washington, D.C. with the horses and participated in that best experience ever. And we were on the end, and the families were coming through, and they're like getting pictures, and I could see her, my horse, she's just getting crankier and crankier. So I had to move her over because I was like, oh, I was joking at a family, they took a picture, and then as they started to walk away, she like freaking took a bite towards them. I was like, okay, we're moving into the inside.
How many days did it take you to get there?
It took us three
Wow,
days to
that
get there.
is a long haul.
It took us like 5 to get back, though.
Yeah, I got.
Let's hear the story.
I was like, it takes you 3 days to get there. It takes you 5 to get back. All right.
We weren't in as much of a hurry to get home and back to work.
Yeah.
They did a phenomenal job. They represented Elk County Sheriff's Department, Elk County at the law enforcement. There's law enforcement from all over the United States, and it's a really neat event to go to.
That was the best trip ever.
Yeah. And so you said it was a memorial? Is that
Yes.
what it is in DC?
So every year, they, back in Washington DC, they honor the fallen officers for that year.
Oh, okay.
So it just happened to be, that was the year we ended up going in 2021. They didn't have it in 2020. So Sergeant Jenkins that was killed down by Ely,
Yeah.
that was the year, his family was there. We got to see them as they come through the line and everything. So that was actually even more special to us to be there that year because we got to honor our friend that was
Yeah,
killed
absolutely.
also. So it was there was a lot of emotions and a lot of crazy going on. But it was very, very, very much appreciated that we were able to participate in that and very thankful to the sheriff for letting us be there.
Yeah.
Will you guys go again?
I would love to go again, and he
Yeah,
needs to
it's
go.
been brought up because we have new people that haven't got a chance to go
Yeah.
yet. So I'd be willing to send them again. It's
And you train with the agencies back east. It's really cool. Aitor wasn't able to go that year. He was supposed to fly out and meet us, but he ended up with COVID. We tried to figure out ways to sneak him back in there anyways.
I would have went
Aitor,
too.
you weren't wearing your mask.
I know, right?
What were you thinking?
So we gotta do the same training, but back there. And so, like our SWAT team that we train with out here, we do all of it, but they got pretty intense up there because they're like throwing like wood blocks. So we have a line of SWAT people with their big shields in front of us, and the bad guys, they're throwing these 2x4 blocks at us, and the horses, so it's hitting those big shields and making god-awful racket noises, and then it's bouncing off, and the horses are walking like what's that?
Yeah, what is that? Is it a cookie? No.
Is that food?
Yeah. Is it edible?
Stop for a second.
And then it was really fun because those people are from like the big cities and stuff. So like, Philadelphia and New York. And so all these places. And so the SWAT team was there when we got all done and we were like, we want to feel the shields and stuff. So we never gone to our SWAT team or anything. He has because he was part of that before. But so we go, can we hold one of your shields? And they're like, well, we have to ask our leader. And we're like, oh, okay. So then one of them, can we pet your horse? We're like, we don't care. You can sit on them. And they got all excited. So we have all these big guys in all their SWAT gear sitting on the horses. Pretty soon it was like little pony rides. We're like leading them around in this field. And they're over there taking videos and pictures of each other and sending it to their spouses and stuff. It was really cool. Because, we're talking guys this size in all their big turtle gear.
You're leading them around.
And we're leading them around on the horses and they're all happy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they were excited about that. So it was very fun.
Nice. So, Aitor, I've seen you a few times during like Silver State Stampede. So, like at events that we have here locally, how long do you guys stay out with the horses? Are you there until the event is over?
Oh, we're there till Laughlin does pretty good with the Silver State Stampede. People does very well with, because everybody goes to the Cowboy Bar afterwards. And the Cowboy, the Stampede personnel, we're there till usually 2 in the morning, and then we just chase everybody out. We really just round them up. We just put the horses out. And we just chase them right out the front gate. And then there's sometimes where the fights just get out of control, and the Stampede just shuts it down, which is awesome, because they don't want those issues, right? So and the Stampede does a phenomenal job. They're like, if they see the issues, because I meet with the board, members of the board the next day, and then say, hey, this is what we had, this is how many arrests we had, and this is how many people we threw out, and they're very understanding. They don't want to see nobody get hurt, and we want everybody to come back to the Stampede every year, and So sometimes we shut it down early because of the people are getting out of hand, and sometimes they'll go till 2 or 3 o'clock. And
Everybody's behaving themselves.
and now sometimes we just leave like 1:30 because there's still like 100 people at the bar, but everything's closed, so we just load up and
Time to go
gather
home.
and take off. Yeah.
So if there's a patrol officer, he can also be, or he or she can be a mounted police. If he has days off, is he allowed to volunteer, or is that?
If he's certified to come to the
Overtime?
class, yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's
so
overtime.
if he or she had the days off at the fair,
yeah.
they could sign up to work.
Yeah, I mean, the fair, like the Stampede and the county fair, we make that mandatory.
Oh, okay.
We'll make the county fair is so big and we get so many personnel and thousands of people at the horse races. We make it mandatory. You will work,
Gotcha.
And it's a good event. It's a lot of good times and
It is a good time.
yeah, it is. I gotta say the Stampede is probably my favorite event.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It really is.
And so, just kind of changing direction just a little bit, but when did you get involved with horses?
I got involved when I was a little kid. I used to go down to Austin in Chospies. I used to go down in Chospies when I was 9, 10 years old, and Paul and Pauline and Jackie, they would put me on a horse, and I didn't really know anything about him, and I'd go out to the ranch, and I'd just start riding, and then it just progressed throughout the years,
And you're a cowboy since.
Yeah.
And, now it's, Val called me, or Adrian Val called me and like, hey, let's go ride tomorrow. I was like, okay, we're there, right? So I just, like I said, for me, it's just nice to get out and just be normal and, because we don't talk work, we just laugh and we'll laugh an hour or two, and it's just
It's
a good
so
time.
nice.
Yeah. And how about you, Val? When did you get involved with horses?
Oh, when I was a kid. I was that little kid that always wanted a horse growing up and never was able to get one. And then my parents, when we moved to Nevada in '88, my parents got me a horse a couple of years later, and it's been over since.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. I'm like, I just want
true
to
addiction.
have a horse and barrel race and just pet it and love it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So do you get, with the mounted patrol, do you get people that are a little more novice to horses, or are they all pretty well experienced?
Oh, no,
Like,
we
have a
get
background in it?
people, so around here, our people are all pretty much, they've had horses and stuff, but like the training we go to in Carson City, we have people that don't own horses and they've never been on them, so Joe, the instructor, he'll give one of his horses and here you go off and ride this horse, it'll
Yeah.
take care of you.
So give you a more experienced one so you can kind of come up
Yes.
to their level.
They don't have
If
to
I-
buy as much beer then.
Yeah. Hopefully that's unfair.
They got a babysitter for
And,
a horse.
and it's not easy down there either because like we ride every day, but down there, you ride all day every day.
Yeah.
So your butt's in the saddle all day. So when you get off your horse, by the end of the day, like
You're
people
done.
don't walk normal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We had just my own little story, but we did have like a little gal who wanted to come bring cows home with us one time. And I'm like, sure. And about halfway done, she's like, Sadie, can I get off? Yes, you can get off. We're so sorry. So I can imagine some people that are going to this training. You got to be pretty tough to stick with it all day.
What, 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock? Well, your class starts at 8, by 7:30, in the arena, riding, warming them up, and you're there till 4:30, 5 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
is the next event you guys will be out on them?
Whatever,
Training.
for us is whatever event we got. Well, we got the rodeo
Elko
coming
County.
up in June.
Yeah.
The Stampede's coming out, and then,
Our training's
Memorial
before
Fair.
that though, so our training will be the last week of April, and then after that, it kind of kicks off with all the
Oh,
yearly,
okay.
whatever the schedule's gonna be, so.
Oh, so next month you guys are headed out for
we'll
training.
start riding more often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hopefully it gets warmer, right?
I hope so.
Yeah,
His horse is there waiting for him.
yeah.
Waiting.
I like Jimmy. Jimmy's a good horse.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you can put a 6-month-old on it and he just goes.
That's
Yeah.
my kind of horse.
Yeah.
He just goes and he's just solid horse, and him and I got the same, we kind of like same attitude, like, let's just go.
We don't got to do nothing fancy. Let's just go.
let's just go. And he starts off the first couple of days, he just wants to run, and after a day and a half or so, then he just kind of starts settling down because they have 50 horses there, you know, and
Yeah.
everybody's trying to be boss in the ring. But it's a good time.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. So, what advice would you have for someone who is just wanting to get started? They're interested in becoming not only just a police officer, but going into the mounted division of it as well.
You know, just coming in law enforcement, obviously you're gonna have to do the fingerprint, and then you gotta get fingerprinted, you gotta do the background checks and application, fingerprints, background, then you gotta do the physical, you gotta run the 1.5 miles, you gotta do a 400-meter run, push-ups, sit-ups. Then once you get through that, then you have the testing, and it's like 50, 60 questions, all math, English and stuff. Then if you get through that, then you go in right into the roll boards and you turn in your packet. And then you turn in your, once your packet is in, then the background checks. And that's what takes so long, is 5 to 6 month background check.
Oh, okay.
They go through your whole, from 18 to your age and they go through it and they reach out to people and stuff. And then once you get on, once you get off your probationary, then you can start putting in for mounted patrol, canines, search and rescue, motorcycles.
SWAT.
anything.
5 to 6 months for a background check.
Yeah. Yeah, they're solid. They're takes a while.
Is there anything that's kind of like weird that could, like, besides the obvious things that could disqualify you, but...
You'd be surprised, the people that put in, a lot of them actually get washed out in the physical part of it, you know,
Oh,
the
okay.
push-ups, the sit-ups, and the PT portion of it. And then you get some people that apply, and you look at the application, you're like...
What made you think
It's
Not
pretty
today.
shady, you know.
Not today.
We've had people that are...
Tomorrow's not looking good either.
Yeah, you know, and then some of them don't put in, like, hey, you know, I was arrested when I was 19 years old. I was downtown, I got arrested for a fight, right?
Yeah.
But they don't put that in the background. But I guess they think we're not gonna find it, and then we go through it, and it's like, and that's a disqualifier, because you're not being
Okay.
honest, right?
Oh,
Right.
okay. So if you've been honest.
Yeah, so, if you put in, I said, yeah, I was 19 years old, I used to fight all the time, I used to get arrested. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, people deserve a second chance, and people grow up, right?
Yeah.
They do.
So, once they pass that, it's all go.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, okay.
But it's a lot of fun. It's quite the process.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Do you guys hire year round?
Yeah, we're almost full. We only have like 3 or 4 vacancies, and we're actually doing pretty well.
Oh, good.
But they always put in applications, and then they have like lists and stuff, so.
So we have it all. We have search and rescue, mounted patrol, canine, motorcycles, SWAT. We have the jail response team. The dirt team, the jail response team. Basically the same thing as SWAT, but they deal with everything inside of the jail facility. The fights, the stabbing. If you have an inmate that's not being cooperative and refusing to lock down or wants to fight, we just send them in there and they go get them, right?
Oh, okay.
They shield, they put all their gear on, and they extract them out of their cells and put them in restraints, and then put them in a different holding unit. And
Okay.
it's pretty intense.
Yeah, sounds like it. And so, you mentioned like you went on one mounted patrol with search and rescue. So it sounds like that you kind of all work together, right? Depending on what the situation is. So the mounted patrol could also be taking part in search and rescue and SWAT
Oh, yeah.
also?
Yeah, body recoveries.
Yeah, oh,
You know,
okay.
Val and I and Adrian were down, and I'll tell you a quick story. I get a call from the sheriff in Lovelock. One of the ranchers goes out there early in the morning, 5 o'clock. He's having a cup of coffee. He lets the dog to go out and do his business. And the dog comes back and with a bone.
Oh,
Oh, no.
But the bad thing about it, I had a Nike shoe on it.
oh
Right? So,
That is terrible.
so we went out there. We located the body after. It took us all day, but we found the body. And come to find out, he was reported missing out of Reno like a couple of years prior.
no. Okay.
A couple
So,
years.
Wow.
The Nike shoe stayed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, and I was like, I told the sheriff, I said, well, is it an old shoe? Or he goes, no, it's a Nike. So I was like, oh my God, okay. So we went out there and found the body, and we give it back to the family, got some closure, and we do. We've had to go up to the wilderness. Hunters can't take vehicles out there, so hunters. Sometimes hunters have a heart attack or stroke or whatever, and sometimes they pass away, and we have to put them on horseback, and we get them off the hills and bring them down to where the paramedics are. And so we use it for everything.
So do you have like different equipment then that your horses are now trained like to pack out an injured person or a body?
So we've gone up over, in Lamoille, we've gone up over the pass we had a big search going on several years ago, and for a missing person, and so the search and rescue team got up over the pass, and one of them ended up getting sick and going downhill.
Oh.
So we ended up having to go up. Sergeant Perry and I, or Lieutenant Perry and I, go up. We got off shift at 6 o'clock. We hit the trailhead about 8:30 that night, and that was a funny one. Anyways, we have 4 horses, and none of those horses have ever been in that canyon before. We'd never taken any of them on any of those trails up there, but now it's dark, so we have our equipment set up, our headlamps and everything, so we can see. So we take these 4 nice horses that have never been in the mountains before up over this pass to get our search and rescue guys. So we have a few little incidences along the way that are very funny, but we get him back out, and that was a trip I learned that you should, if you're going to give someone your horse and lead them down the mountain, you should take tennis shoes to walk back out, because cowboy boots are not the best for hiking, but it worked out, and we got him out of there, and so we just do what we got to do. And
we responded to, when we worked that night in the country a couple of years ago, and we responded to a shots fired call. It's 1:30 in the morning, and the scary thing about that whole thing was we were just flat moving across the flat, and it's dark. I mean, it was dark, no lights, nothing, and you're going to a shots fired call, and you're going as fast as you can, and there's ditches, and you're like, boy, Jimmy, I hope you can get out.
I'm putting a lot of trust in you.
There's no bad rolls.
Yeah, you're running. You're like,
So
boy,
scary.
Jimmy, I hope you're not nearsighted or anything. And you get there and you just deal with what you got.
Yeah.
You just load back up and then you just go back to work.
Huh.
So they're amazing. They're just worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
They really are.
When you guys are all out of service, how do you guys communicate? Do you have Garmin's,
For like search and rescue?
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually just have our radios.
Because if you're out of cell service, your radio still works.
Yeah, we'll put the radios like on a TAC channel.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's just a talk around channel, and now we have the Garmin's that you could actually put on your cell phone.
Yeah.
So you just take this Garmin,
So
you
if
just
there
put it
was
on your cell
something
phone,
you
and
couldn't say over the radio, you could.
and you can talk
Yeah.
through satellite. You can call Val and say, "Hey, I'm 6 miles this way,"
It's amazing.
and
Technology.
we'll find each. Yeah, the technology is amazing.
Well,
It
we
really
had
is.
several years ago, Adrian and I were up trying to get to some, I think they were hunters, but a big snowstorm had come through up north, and I mean, there was just feet of snow. Like,
Up
I don't
in
even remember.
Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh, that's
remember.
like my nemesis place to go. But, so we go up there and we get the horses out, and we find a place to park because we're on that little 2-track, pulling
Yeah.
a trailer up and everything. So it's like real sketchy anyways. And it's dark, of course. Nothing ever happens in the daylight. So we go up there and we get saddled and we start riding up in there, and we rode. I don't know how far we rode, but we're like, okay, we're not very far from them, but there was so much snow that we couldn't get through to them because the horses were pushing snow up past their chest. Like, we were busting through a ton of snow. So we had, again, we have a pack horse and everything also. So we have 4 horses, and we're just trying to bust through all this snow, and we're like, we can't get to them.
Yeah.
But we had no communication to get back to these guys that, hey, we can't get through. So the people that we were trying to get to had communications with our guys in Elko, and we were in the middle, and we didn't have communications. We couldn't communicate well. So we go back to our truck and trailer, and we're like trying to figure out how to get communications back. Well, what we realized also was when we had to use chains to get in, we ended up one wrapping around and breaking my brake line on my truck.
Oh.
So we didn't have any brakes to come out in. So we had to stay up there for the night. So then we needed rescued. So
It's
cold.
what was good is these guys knew where we were gonna be, so the deputy Wrights, he was really good with that area, and he knew, hey, they should be back, they should be around here, no one's heard from them, these guys haven't seen them and everything, so he came up and gave Adrian a ride back to town to get our husbands to bring our equipment, more equipment, come up and help us get out of there.
I love these stories. You guys truly put your life on the line to rescue someone.
Well, the
else.
best part is, like, we have our like our hoodies, they say mounted patrol and everything like that. So for like Adrian's husband and my husband, we had them, the hoodies made with the sheriff's department logo and everything. And it says, Elko County Sheriff's Mounted Patrol. And then down below for those two, it says rescue team. That's for them because they're always having to rescue us when we go to rescue people. We have so much that's like, if we're going out somewhere, our husbands are like, oh, this is not good.
We'll be there soon.
We're on call, okay?
Stand by.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes, like the other day, we had a family that got stuck, and we went out there, and then our guys got stuck because there was that fresh runoff, and so then they got stuck, and then the other guys were all
wasn't the
stuck,
horses.
and then we had to go,
of
and we had to go around and get everybody, and it's like sometimes you send out 2 people, but you got to send out.
You're getting a
couple
lot
more
of
to get
pickles.
everybody.
Yeah. Well, you just figure it's northern Nevada, and this time of year, or any time of the year, you just never know where you're going to end up.
Yeah, just like Sunday. It was spring and then winter.
Yes.
Within an hour.
Yeah.
Yes, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, though. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it either.
So I think I don't know if I saw you, Val, but I saw you, Aitor, at the Lamoille Fair last year. And did you have rubber booties on your horse's feet for safety on the pavement?
Adrian did on hers.
Oh, okay,
Adrian had
Adrian.
him on hers, and Adrian, her horse,
Has navicular.
so she
she
puts a
wears
little
boots.
rubber shoes on him, and
Oh, okay.
but
That's her old lady.
Oh, gotcha,
So-
gotcha.
Yeah, so she does
gets
the
something
boots.
special.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's very good.
Is there any other kind of like equipment that you guys need? Is it reflective gear that you guys put on your horses? Is there like any kind of blinders or anything like that?
So we have reflective gear. We have we have these little bands that go around like their ankles and stuff. They're like their ankle area. We have one for their tail. And then we have these little reflectors that you can Velcro onto your stirrups, so they hang down, so your stirrups have that little
Oh, okay.
reflector. They do have like riot gear for the horses, and then they have the those big blankets for are they the bulletproof ones?
bulletproof ones, yeah.
That they have, but we don't have that stuff. I think we have to get like probably some grants and stuff because that's really spendy. So
Yeah.
Washoe, they have some. Sometimes when they go to riots, their horse has a whole face shield.
yeah, they have
and
the shields.
It's got different blankets, and it's got like little like baseball player wear.
Wow,
They put
and
them on
most
their
of that's
shins,
bulletproof?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Put them
new
on
stuff.
their shins
Wow.
so they don't get hurt.
It's heavy, I bet.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
They don't have like little spikes or anything.
No.
I wish they did.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knew.
That'd be more my style.
Yeah.
Move them over and poke someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You'll move, not me.
and to be honest with you, we but then the liability is always on us. It's like the canine, or especially SWAT or mounted patrol. If we're working a crowd and something happens and the horse kicks somebody accidentally,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
we're going to pay for that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're going to say it belongs to the sheriff's office, and obviously they're going to get an attorney and go from there. But it's the liability there, that's why we train so much with the
Yeah.
horses.
Well, that absolutely makes sense. Too bad though, because horses are just inherently dangerous, right? Like,
None of them are truly
yeah,
bomb-proof.
yeah, exactly. Like stuff can go bad. But,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It goes
Yeah.
bad. It goes
Yeah.
south in a second.
Yeah. Oh, like stay away from the horse then. But okay. Well, do you guys have any like really special stories that you'd like to talk about? Any experiences that you've had with the mounted patrol?
For me, mounted patrol is just getting out, working the fairs, the Stampede, and the Lamoille Fair. You go to Lamoille Fair, there's 10,000 people there in a weekend, right? And for me, it's just go out there on horseback. And every time we work an event, we get hundreds and hundreds of pictures
Yeah.
from family and the kids.
Yes.
And then so for me, it's just nice to get out and work a normal day and have a good time.
Yeah.
And
Out of the
interact with the
office.
public and the kids.
Yeah.
And that's what the mounted patrol for me is. So,
Yeah. And get to have a good experience with people instead of seeing them at their worst.
yeah,
Right?
you know.
That is really good. I have like the same thing. I love the kids and, the daytime hours, the people are happier to see us, in uniform, because I loved my career as in law enforcement. That was really rewarding. And then having the horses on top of that was like the best of both worlds, because I got to go, do my police work and have a horse there, that was
Yeah.
like awesome.
Yeah. Get to bring my horse to work.
But it was really rewarding when we could do stuff and make an impact with somebody, that was really nice. So
Yeah.
we've had some failures along the way that I don't like to fail at stuff, but we've had failures along the way that I'm not proud of. But the times that we've succeeded in our adventures with the horses out and about have been good. So
Yeah.
This is what copping is all about.
Copping.
You guys talking
This
to
is
the,
good stuff
talking
for
to the
people to
public
hear.
and,
No, thank you for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys do so much for our community.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
Thank you
Hopefully
guys
it
for
inspires
listening.
some people.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure the stories are endless. So we always want to hear
that's,
any more
that's
if you have
the
them.
thing about this job. Be honest with you, if Val and I would write a book of the things we've done and things we've saw and seen and the good and the bad, and you'd have a bestseller.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, but it's
Popcorn. Yeah.
this career for Val and I have been really great.
we
Val
worked
was
this
awesome to work with.
street together a lot, and
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I remember one day Val was on a traffic stop and I had this drunk and I turned my back just for a second. It's just as that happened that fast and there's a dog pile. Val's on top of this guy and they're fighting. It's like, oh crap. So we get this guy to the
tough.
hospital. We get this guy to the hospital and he's all bloody and the doctor's like, Jesus, Aitor, what'd you do to him? And the guy's like, it wasn't him, it was her. So it's a good time,
Yeah.
We put, I trust Val and she trusts me when we go into these bad situations. She's behind me.
Yeah.
That guy in that golf course that one day, he shot like 30 rounds inside the
yeah.
house, right? Well, Val and I are walking around, it's like, that's not a good idea, because we were looking for the suspect. We're like, oh,
This is bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bad one. And
That was a bad one.
and it's like, all right, I'll take the lead. You come, you follow me, and we'll see what happens. So you put a lot of faith in the people that you work with, especially in this career.
Was your whole career with the Oco Sheriff's Department?
Yes. Yep.
You
I
have
started
seen
as
a
a
lot.
reserve back in 1997,
Mhm.
and then made it through to retire.
Yeah, I went to the academy in '92, so I've been there a while. Yeah. But I wouldn't trade it. Best career,
Yep.
hands down, best.
Same here.
Well, we were lucky to have you guys. So
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks
you
for having
guys.
us.
Yes, that was
a lot
fun.
of fun. It's nice to meet normal people like you guys.
We're not normal.
Yeah.
and talk.
Don't go that far. Who are you calling normal? Yeah.
It's not fun if you're normal.
Yeah, yeah, but we don't like the naked guy yesterday,
Yeah.
We just deal with normal people. We don't have to deal with that kind of stuff, right? And so it's nice to get out and
Have
just
fun.
lollygag and talk and tell stories and
Lollygag. I'm going to use that word from now on.
We like that one.
Lollygag.
yeah.
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 All right. Well, thank you guys again.
Oh,
We
thanks for
really
having me.
appreciate you, and I think that'll wrap up our
Yes.
podcast. for
Thank you
today.
very much.
Have a good night.
You too.